Hello there and welcome back to the channel. I'm David Steele and here's me truck, and today we're back in Red Thunder and we're going to be doing some driving around, playing around with SCS's Smart Sequential Shift technology. So I did play around with this when it was released a few versions ago, but today's video we're going to be trying this with a slightly different truck. We're using an 8LL transmission. That's a 10-speed, but it's configured as an 8-speed with 2 additional low or crawler gears. Well, first things first, let me show you how you go into settings or options and change the Smart Sequential Shift options. So, I'm going to escape out of here, whizzo into System and then Options. Now, it lives in either Control or Interface. I think it's Interface. We'll click on Interface here. Let me see. Actually, no, I think I meant Gameplay rather than Interface, but maybe it's in Interface. I don't see it. Let's go into Gameplay. Oh, there it is. Right. So it's under Smart Sequential Shifting, and actually the game does tell you it allows skip shifting. Sometimes I call this block shifting, so if you convoy with me, you might be thinking, what is he on about? Yeah, that happens often, but in the context of gear shifting, it actually means skip gears when necessary or practical. It essentially avoids you from, if you use a controller or keyboard, from having to tap or click every single gear change. And if you're using an 18 speed, that's a lot of gear changes between 0 to your cruising speed. So this aims to reduce that where sensible. So let me go ahead and click that on, like so. Now, whilst I'm here, something else you can do, if you can't find a setting, SCS have taken a leaf from smartphones, who back in the day had 4 settings, and now they've got 307. You can click the search button, start to type in what you're trying to find. So in this case, SMA or Smart. And it's found Smart Sequential Shifting in the Gameplay section, along with the Smart Cruise Control. But it also says, excuse me, more search result in Controls. So drop down to Controls down here, and it's the same one, but that's my point. You can find it that way. Okay, well now we've got that turned on. Let's go back into Drive. I'm going to pick up a job. Hopefully. Let's see what we've got going on today. Stones, sand, and silica. Stones, that's a reasonable trip, but can we do a slightly heavier cargo, I wonder? They have a double. Might not be any heavier. So I'm going on the number of axles. Well, let's try the double. Is that any heavier? 30,000 pounds now. Sometimes the other dumpers will be heavier. We'll try this one. 40,000 pounds. Okay, that works for me. There is a reason why I want a heavier cargo today, and that's because it sort of maximizes some of the. If you have a lighter cargo, the engine is more forgiving. With a heavier cargo, it is less forgiving. Although, whilst I'm here, let's just see. It's the same dumper design. Are these the same? That's a different design. Let's try this one, see if there's any. In fact, let's go with the red one. Same weight. It is. Well, that works for me. Okay, so that's got my cargo. I'll go ahead and jump in the cabin. Right. Yeah, so we are in Smart Sequential. We're in Sequential Manual here right now. Let's see, my lights on. I don't know where the cargo is, but we'll move off. It should show up on the map. Okay, there it is. I guess we can go this way. So under the hood, we are running a Caterpillar C-12 today. Why the C-12? Well, there's a couple of reasons. Mostly, I wanted to run a slightly smaller engine, but I didn't want it to be particularly underpowered. And so this is the C-12. This is the 430 horsepower version. And this engine was found for me by a friend of the channel, Zach, or Pepperoni Pizza. And Zach found the Caterpillar PDF and sent it my way. So it's 430 horsepower rated and 1650 foot-pounds of torque. So it's not exactly a powerhouse, but this is a 12-litre engine. Right, I'm going ahead, I'm just shifting around through the gears. We're kind of trickling around here. It is late at night. Well, it's early in the morning, technically. 4:30. I think the game looks beautiful like this, and I don't know how well it's going to show up on YouTube. So the 8LL even, we have 10 forward speeds, but it sort of minimizes the case point for the sequential shifting, really. But there's a good reason why I'm choosing that, because I want it to be a bit obvious when it kicks in. And as we trundle around here, I'm actually going to switch to the external view to back it up. I don't think I have advanced trailer coupling turned on, but we'll pretend like we have. I'll just drop the ride height there. So what I found in the past was that my biggest issue with Smart Sequential was that a lot of the time it didn't seem to really do much. But when it did, it was often counterproductive. There. I'll turn my lights off, get my ride height where it should be, and connect the trailer. Okay, good enough for me. Lights back on. Cabin. Oh, interesting. So, it's definitely doing something, because now when I shift forward or shift up a gear, it's putting me into low. So that it clearly recognizes that we've got a bit of weight on the back. It's good. And it's going to go through them sequentially if I'm light on the power, if I'm feathering it just a little bit, which I'm very happy with because we're not using lots of revs. Now if I gun it up to 2000 RPM and then shift up, depending on how I behave, it may go through those gears sequentially, and that is if I keep the power down, or if I lift off the power and shift, it may skip a gear. That's how I believe it's going to work. So we'll try that out. But where I had an issue with Smart Sequential Shifting in the past was if you were to be really slow and you downshift, it may put you into neutral. And that was not what I wanted. So imagine the scenario, I'm coming up to a fairly busy intersection or junction, but I'm in too high a gear. So I guess I'll mimic this. I'm off the power completely now. There we go. So I'm doing 5 miles an hour in first gear. Let's say I wanna turn at an intersection. If I downshift, it's going to put me in neutral. It's going to put me into a crawler gear. Put me into a crawler gear. Okay, so maybe they fixed it, or maybe it's more aware of the circumstances. What I'm hoping that we're going to see today is, again, most of the advantages of manual sequential shifting with some of the advantages of an automated transmission. And that is, or rather, few of the disadvantages. And there, what I mean is, if you're pulling off the interstate and you're slowing down for a junction, you don't want to have to tap all the way down from a high gear to one of your bottom gears just to move off. It's not fun, but that's not so bad. Only sometimes the game will miss some of those transmissions. I probably should have stopped there. Some of those taps. But what I mean there is, let's say you're in 5th low, and you go ahead and you tap twice. It should put you into 4th low. But sometimes the game doesn't seem to recognize that you tapped it twice. You'll put it into 4th high. Well, that's not good. I really want to be in 4th low. So you'll downshift again, thinking you'll go in 4th low, but no, at an 18 speed it'll put you into 3rd high. You're going too fast for 3rd high and it over-revs it. It's just a mess. Now I wondered originally, is this because my game's running too poorly to be able to cope with recognizing all those extra inputs? But it turns out, or it seems to turn out, that's not the case. Right now I'm running just about 70 frames a second. I think I'm recording this at 30 frames a second. So the game is wonderfully responsive. In fact, it's working this GPU so hard that the NVIDIA card is probably going to, has already started to throttle down, I'm sure. So I guess it's not so CPU limited after all, at least how I've got it set up right now. Yeah, so the hope here, and this is where we're going to experiment, is we slow down for the stop sign. I'm not going to change down. I'm going to just let it almost stop and then downshift. Yeah, it puts me into neutral there, which is not really what I want. But on the other hand, I think I was stationary when I did that. We'll be trying this again. The game does look beautiful. Okay, let's go through gears as we get back up to speed. So if I lift off when I change up, it does. It goes third to fifth. Look at that. Now that's kind of what I wanted it to do. It's one tap, one control input, and it skips a gear, and that's the idea behind it. I think that's the sort of sweet spot. Now, like I've said, it's more relevant if you're using an 18 speed, and effectively I'm using an 8 speed with a couple of extra quarter gears, and that really was by design. Because if this doesn't work or is glitchy or something, and I didn't think it would be, but just in case, this would be a very uncomfortable journey with lots and lots of extra clicks and taps and probably me muttering a few choice words. Okay, well, I'm just going to drive along and chat about the things I want to chat about, and let the Smart Sequential Shift option take care of things. As far as how well this thing is pulling the load, I've got no complaints. I mean, it's a Cat-12, or a C-12 I should say, technically. As I said before, it's not a powerhouse, but I didn't expect it to be. But with 1650 foot-pounds of torque, it's good enough. And this engine is late 1990s, I think it's a 97. It's where the PDF came from, was the year of the PDF. So, you know, it's 25 years old. And I think 1650 foot-pounds is still comparable today, and it's just a 12-litre engine. So, yes, there are 11-litre production engines that have this much power. Don't get me wrong. The X12 is a good example, but we don't see those very often. Yes, I know that the Kenworth T680, the new generation, has just got the X12, but generally speaking, we don't see 12-litre engines. We don't tend to see 12-litre engines with this amount of torque. Speed, baby. You're speeding. And not only are you speeding, you're waking everyone up. Okay. I may have to retrain myself to not want to be shifting so much.
Go straight.
So, as we feather through this town at what time is it? 3 o'clock in the morning. I said it was 4:30 earlier on. I don't know why I said it was 4:30. It's clearly not 4:30. I've got 3 hours left in my shift before we've got to take a break, though.
Right, and then turn right.
Yeah, so we did a block shift from 4th down to 2nd there, which was good, and arguably we could have gone to 1st, but we didn't need to because we're still able to pull off here. What I'm hoping is that the Smart Sequential Shifting can take advantage of your shift points that you've configured with your engine, combined with a bit of probably fuzzy logic's maybe not the right word, bit of game simulation mechanics. Yeah, this is good. As I pile on the power to get up to speed, when I shift up at 2,000 revs, it does not skip a gear, and that's good because we don't want it to. We need the power in the next gear. And if I cranked on the cruise, we're gonna get myself up to 65. Yeah, beautiful. Let's just check what's going on here. All right, 3 hours 19 left to drive, but only 2 hours 41 left in my shift. So I do need to take a break with this. I mean, that's fine. I am happy with how Smart Sequential Shifting is working. I think this is a means of me going back to enjoying shifting gears myself without some of the pain of it missing those control input, or for whatever reason not behaving on them. And it defies my logic. The reason why I wanted to go down a couple of gears was because I knew I would still be at the appropriate engine speed for the new gear. Now, maybe the game thought I wasn't. I could experiment there, I suppose. Yeah, but I'm not going to. I'm happy with how this is running. Speaking of how this is running, let me pop up my dashboard on the display if it lets me. Let's see. So I have tweaked ATS settings, and this is a revised version of the dashboard. It's a little 7-inch display sits below my main display, and pop this up showing what my machine's doing. On the left is predominantly CPU, and on the right is predominantly GPU. So the big numbers, 52 on the left and 79 on the right, that's my CPU and GPU temperatures respectively. Though with the GPU there's a bit more to it than that. At the bottom you've got 88 and 85. 88 is the VRAM temperature. This is an RTX 3080 Ti. They're known to run their VRAM hot, and they're not wrong. And then the hotspot is just 84. So yeah. Case ventilation is not bad, but I guess it could always be better. Game is running at 58 frames a second right now, 54. And what I see is as the CPU can't provide as much information through to the GPU, it can't work as hard, and so the temperatures come down. Now it still feels smooth to play. The chart underneath the big number shows the frame rate and how hard the GPU core is and how hard the GPU memory controller is working. And the reason why my interest in memory controller is I'm trying to determine if I need to get a couple swap out the memory pads for this GPU. I think if in doubt, swap them out. That would seem to make sense. Only I don't really feel like taking my GPU apart unless I have to, because I have a weird habit of sometimes they don't go back together the same way. Okay, I think I'm going to accelerate around this passenger car on my left here, because he doesn't want to go quicker than 65, which is surprising. I guess we're not in Texas, that's probably why. And I don't really want to either, but I don't want to be sitting in his dead zone the whole time. Anyway, yeah, I just wanted to show the dashboard to show how the game's performing. And I got a feeling I'm going to put together a new loss to scaling video soon. The old one got a bit of criticism. Some of it was very fair. Oh, and I don't want to stop here. I'd love to, but I think I'll be overtaking this guy in the left lane just to pull over. I don't think I need to do that. Well, we'll stop at the next rest stop. It'll be fine. What could possibly go wrong?
Keep right, and then exit right. Exit right.
There's me using the gearing as a brake.
You're exceeding the speed limit.
Yeah. Pushed it to 40. Wow. I know. Driver's tired. Still 40 mile an hour speed limit. Okay. Get back up to 65. There we go. Yeah, I'm very happy with Smart Sequential Shifting. I'm glad I tried it again. And I will have a similar video on ETS2 available, or Euro Truck Simulator 2. It's kind of the same content. I've already made that video. I think, yeah, I'm definitely going to publish the two of them. Trying to get a bit more into ETS2, as I realized I had 10 times the hours in American Truck Simulator versus Euro Truck Simulator, and I don't think I prefer ATS 10 times as much. Well, I guess I do. this. I can control the gear choice myself, which is really what I wanted to do, but without, you know, with that wonderful, oh, I don't have to tap downshift 37 times. A slight exaggeration there. Oh, night stop time coming up. Yeah, I'll pull in and I'll say night stop. It's 5:15 in the morning. It's more a dawn stop. Oh, we're in Arkansas, or Arkansas. So yeah, we'll pull over. Well, I think I'm going to call it for today's video, because as fun as it would be for you to watch me take a snooze, take an overnight stop, the purpose of today's video was really just to play around with the smart sequential shifting, and it's been a success. I'll do one more thing. When I stop up here, we will just downshift right as we're about to stop, and we'll see if it puts me into the crawler gear. So it's a little slow for third, but it's still doing it. Right, so that's one downshift into first. Okay. And for what it's worth, downshift one more time, and then we'll stop. Close to Sabre Transport on the left here, but let's see. It put me into low, so that it may well be that it needs to get used to basically the truck. Right, put it into neutral, do that, do this. I'm going to go ahead and shut it down. We'll grab some sleep in the bunk. I'll pull the curtains too. Thanks so much for hanging out today. I hope you got something from this. Hope you enjoyed it. And I'll see you the next time. Thanks so much, everyone. Goodbye.